Hello, everybody. Welcome. And I am so excited to be here with you, even though I can't see you. I'm sure you're there. I'm happy you're here. But who we can see is Dr. Mel Krug in the house. I'm so excited. Krug, did I just Krug you?
It's okay.
We were
I
just
have two
joking about
aliases, Simon. It's fine. I have a Krug version of myself and a Krug version of myself.
Oh, Lord, we were just
We were
joking
just
about
talking
that.
about that.
Okay. Why are we here? Because Mile High 12 is coming up, which is blows my mind that we're even at 12. Mel was a student watching
Mhm.
some of this stuff and said, "You know what? I'm going to be on that stage." Well, tell you what, this is a woman you're about to meet. If it's the first time, when she speaks stuff like that, stuff happens. She's
Mhm.
an amazing dynamic chiropractor. She's been all about giving and serving in her own personal way, but she's at a whole nother level in the last few years where she is mentoring, she is teaching, she is coaching, she is really sharing to the other leaders in our profession and making leaders in our profession. So, without further ado, I want to introduce you to Dr. Mel. Mel, how are you doing?
Thanks, Simon. I'm great. Gosh, I'm having these moments of looking back and being in that seat at Mile High. I was a student and I just got out of Glacier National Park with my husband, and I was probably really
Wow.
dirty and really smelly. And I was on fire to be at Mile High because everything that we talk about at Mile High, I did not get in school. I went to Northwestern, and I'm not here to put down any schools, but I felt like I was lacking the philosophy. So I'm
Right.
super excited to be at Mile High from the other part of the stage and give back to students and chiropractors because Mile High has given so much to me early on in my journey. So super grateful to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited too. And philosophy is key.
Mhm.
Mile High is a philosophy, art, and strategy event, and we put philosophy first. It doesn't, the other things are equally as important, but philosophy is for sure a foundation. And it's obvious that it's not getting the light that it should in our profession these days. So I'm glad you brought that up. So speaking of what, again, what is this Mile High thing? Well, it's this great annual event. It's really a movement, if someone was going to ask me what it's all about. Really being an epicenter for chiropractic out here in the West. And we put on a great show every year. Mel, you're going to be speaking. I'm so excited. We're going to hopefully squeeze a tidbit of information out of you. This is September 26th through 29th. You can get all the information on the event that you need at milehighchiro.org. It's going to be in Denver. It's going to be at the Delta Hotel in Thornton, just outside of Denver. You need to register now. You need to get your hotel now. Those things fill up. And part of the magic that happens at Mile High is when we're all staying at the same place. So don't let the hotel sell out and you have to go to some other hotel and it's like not even. And it has sold out before. So enough of that. So here we are with the mighty Mel. Mel, what's kind of pulling on your heart these days for our profession? And is that something you're going to touch on stage? If not, what are some of the things you're going to touch on stage?
Well, you mentioned Simon philosophy. And one of the gaps that I've seen with especially young doctors and students, and even people who have been in the profession for a while, is how do we take the philosophy? I was a big Reggie Gold person. I loved him. I would listen to him all the time, The Triune of Life. How do we take these principles and actually translate it to practice? And so I'm calling what I'm speaking about at Mile High is the triune of practice,
Hmm.
all about how do we take the principles and the philosophy and bridge that gap into our practice, whether you own your practice or you're an associate. So I believe I like to speak in like the polymath world where connecting the philosophy, the principles, the strategy, I like to connect it all for people. I see myself as a bridge. Being a younger doctor myself, I feel like I can really speak to that younger crowd, and I'm excited to help people bridge that gap so they can feel the principles and how it can translate to their practice and make a greater impact on the people while standing true in what chiropractic really is. And so I'm excited to share some ways and some secrets. I'm not going to give it all away right now,
Right,
but
right.
how to bridge that gap, because that was something I really felt like I struggled with in school was
Yeah.
how do I bridge this gap, right? How do I take the philosophy that's filling my soul so much and actually bring it into my practice members, bring it into my business, and not lose sight of, again, what chiropractic really is and where we've come from. So I'm excited to bridge the gap for people at Mile High.
Oh,
And we say it is magic because my brother's getting married that same weekend, and I am traveling all the way to Colorado, y'all, to make Mile High happen while simultaneously
wow.
showing up for my brother's wedding. So y'all, this is the
Wow.
place to be. And I am very diligent with my time. Like I'm telling you, this is the place to be. So you've got to get there, wedding or not.
Wow. That's amazing. And yeah, there are a lot of gaps, aren't there,
Mhm.
in our education, and that's no fault to whether you went to Northwestern, whether you went to anywhere, any school you have, there is a gap or there are gaps once you get out and practice. You're making me realize, Mel. So if some of you may not know it, the structure at Mile High is you have speakers on the stage, we have breaks for obviously for lunch and dinner, but we also have breakout sessions. You should come back and do a breakout session and
I'm
get
down.
roll up the sleeves and get into the nitty gritty and do some stuff. But anyway, um, yeah, I'm blown away about the wedding thing. That is amazing, and I totally get it. So again, all of you out there, if you want any details, September 26th through 29th, milehighchiro.org. That's going to be your resource area. Check out and make sure you register, get your hotel room. Because, like Mel said, the magic that happens is when we're in community like that and we're sharing. She'll be sharing from the stage, but guess what? She comes off the stage. And if you're
I
there
do.
at the hotel, you go like, Mel, come here. I got some more
Yeah.
questions. And I'm just so excited about you joining us this year. Is
Thank
there
you.
anything that well, actually, you kind of answered it. If anybody was on the fence about whether they should go to Mile High, here you are like navigating a wedding. You're like that speaks volumes. Um, and bring your teams. Everyone out there listening, this is don't be selfish and then try to come home back to the office and translate everything. Bring your team. We will have material there for the whole team. Mel will have material for the whole team, not just you and your headspace and things like that. Is there anything in parting that you would like to share with the community?
Absolutely. I think one of the greatest things about Mile High is like what you said, Simon, after the speakers come off stage, don't be afraid to go talk to them.
Mm,
I believe as a leader, I believe myself to be a humble leader and I like to give back. And if that means we meet up, at the bar or for dinner and you ask questions of things that maybe you never considered in the profession, I feel like that's where the secret sauce really is.
yeah.
Yes, it's great to learn from stage, but there's nothing like connecting with the people in the profession that you look up to and actually creating a human connection. I know for me, that was huge to be able to connect with the speakers off stage and just allow them to pour into me. Again, whether you're a student or you've been in practice, you can always learn. And
Mhm.
so I would encourage anyone, if you have that little bit of fear, that's probably something to lean into and break free and break through on the other side and let the community support you. We're here to give back. We're
Mhm.
here to support you because when you do well, when I do well, the profession does well. So let's give back to each other and serve each other.
Mel, you're awesome. And speaking of breakthroughs, this woman here, if you don't know her, has had breakthroughs personally, professionally, just as a human being, and is just so great about sharing not just her authentic, vulnerable pieces and stories, but helping other people with their breakthroughs. So, Mel, I'm super excited. I know it's going to be amazing.
Me
Thanks for
too.
joining us this morning,
Welcome.
and we'll see you there.
See you there.